Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party. I'm Philip, joined by Daniel and Darren, and I have watched 2 more episodes of Star Trek Prodigy, so I'm on finished episode 5. So I was trying to do 3, but only got 2.
I think that's where I'm at. I not that I ran out of steam, I just needed more time.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm enjoying it so far, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
is the bird guy still in the show, or did they write? Is he dead, or did they kill him?
Well, we haven't seen Chakotay for
it's a question
2 episodes
mark
either. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just
a question mark at this point.
Yep. I did get I had heard about it. Unfortunately, there's someone to get spoiled, even though I try not to. But I did finally hear the Cerritos reference.
Oh, yeah. Just a small
referenced. One. Yeah.
Oh, fun. I didn't know.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to figure out. I got a big spoiler. Not that I was looking for it, but the blankety-blank Star Trek account is just throwing stuff out there. So.
Right. It's like, this show posted yesterday. We should be able to share screenshots from the finale. I'm sure everyone's watched all the episodes by now.
So I was sort of heartened that like 90% of the comments were just spoilers. Why are you spoiling?
Yeah, I had a teeny bit, not a spoiler, but like I think I was looking at like the number of episodes or whatever, but I saw all the listed main characters for the season. And so I knew a character that was going to be coming later, like kind of midway, an old Trek classic. I'll just say that, but, which isn't bad. I just, it wasn't a surprise when he showed up.
Mm-hmm. So, well, what about you, Daniel? Any other old Trek or otherwise you're enjoying this week?
I've been neglecting both. I still haven't continued with my TNG rewatch or Prodigy. Shame on me, but I have been busy as well. It's summertime, we got lots of things going on, so I'll get back to it at some point.
Okay. And what about you, Darren?
Just kind of working through Prodigy season 2 right now, but I still need to. Speaking of Trek writers and Raul D. Moore, I still need to sit down and watch season 4 of For All Mankind, a show I proclaim to love, but yet, I just want to have I know once I start it, I'm going to watch all of it. So I have to find like the right time. So I think last time I started at like 3 p.m., which was foolish because it was not till early in the morning that I finished because I couldn't stop. It's so good. So.
Well, speaking of things you proclaim to love, have you even watched The Acolyte yet?
No, I've been. Part of me has been waiting just for the whole thing because it's been coming out week to week. But another part of me is like, I'll get around to it. It sounds interesting, but I honestly, if I'm going to invest that much time in watching Star Wars, I'll probably just rewatch Andor. So it's not really. Again, I haven't watched it yet, but it's not exactly ringing my bell, I guess. So, but that's okay.
Not to go outside of our remit, but the other 2 had some Marvel stuff this week. When I saw, because I remember them talking about it, but I was like talking and then doing are 2 different things. So when I saw the Agatha All Along trailer came out, I'm like, are we still doing Marvel TV shows? But I watched the trailer. And to me, it's so different. It might be something because it seems so different.
I love the fact that the name has changed like 3 or 4 times since they pseudo announced it like years ago. Because I think it was like Agatha, like House
Harkness
of Coven, and it just kept changing, which isn't bad. I'm just saying it's kind of funny.
I didn't watch the trailer, but I love Catherine Hahn. So anything that she does is so fun. I always just think of her as her character from Parks and Recreation. She was amazing in that, and so I'll watch it. Well, I don't know. I'll say I'll watch it. I probably won't, but
it seemed much more horror than anything Disney has ever done. Like I think Doctor Strange promise a little bit that it was going to be that way, but it wasn't really. But I mean, this seems like it's pure like, The Conjuring, basically, is what they're doing,
Yeah, it's kind of like she's woken up and she wants to get her power back, and she's starting her own coven again. Because I think it feels like it kind of takes place like right after WandaVision.
Do they show Wanda in it at all? Presumably by the end of it, she has to.
They
be
show
there, right?
a dead body, so it's that has those kind of like blackened fingers, but that's all we see.
Yeah. And then the new Captain America trailer, which I don't know. I mean, again, this isn't a Marvel podcast. I know it was both. I wasn't excited, but I wasn't not excited because it was like the trailer just seemed per se generic. Like nothing was like this is.
It's a teaser
new.
at best. Yeah.
But I mean, I support. I'm all for what the new Captain America is all about. I'm not like Steve only. I'm like whatever.
The president is.
Yes.
So
I forgot because I watched the teaser maybe 2 times, and the third time I'm like, oh yeah, they recast. Like, is he supposed to be General Ross? I mean, no,
yeah,
right,
President Ross. But anyway, so
sans the mustache.
Theoretically, the character that was there at the beginning, he was in what was Incredible Hulk? What was the first
Incredible
movie?
Hulk?
Yeah. I mean, he's in that one. So there you go.
Yeah, he's been in many. Which I guess I don't know what happened why they changed
3
it.
people, 2 people.
Yeah, well, that's true. It was multiple people, but
anywho. So, but yeah, we're not talking Marvel. We're talking Star Trek. But we are talking potential new things, or at least spinoffs and such things.
What us talking about hypotheticals? So not our style.
So, some homework I gave all of us to talk about today is. Throughout the franchise, we are often introduced to different, guest stars or guest starships. Maybe they're semi-reoccurring, but even if it's just a once appearance. And my idea was like, are there potential spinoffs that we could do based on these one-shot appearances?
So kind of giving it the Strange New Worlds treatment, which, I mean, granted, is the Enterprise, but like it kind of backdoor piloted it.
Discovery
in a way.
Spinoff, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems insulting to call the Enterprise a Discovery spinoff, but
it kind of does. But yes.
It is, technically. Yes. And I'll even further throw this out because I don't think I told you all this, but I'm also giving you allowances. Like, it doesn't have to be per se a TV series. I mean, like, for instance, one of the things on my list, I just put novel verse, just be a novel series with this ship. So I just throw that out there. That doesn't necessarily have to be a 7 years, 24 episodes per season. No. So we're just going to do round robin style. I'll go first. It is the example I used for you, so it shouldn't come as a surprise. But I'll admit it changed once I did a little bit of research. Because initially I was going to propose the U.S.S. Phoenix from The Wounded that we saw. For those who don't remember, this is the TNG episode with Captain Benjamin Maxwell, where sort of Captain gone rogue starts, blowing up Cardassian ships. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have a spin-off series to see all that. But then I dug a little deeper. It's actually, and you may know this already, but it's not the Phoenix that I want. It's the Rutledge. Because it is USS Rutledge that was commanded by Captain Benjamin Maxwell with Tactical Officer Miles O'Brien.
Did we ever learn what kind of ship the Rutledge was? Just a good ship.
Exactly. Yeah, lollipop class. So this is my pitch is a Cardassian War series with the USS Rutledge, commanded by Captain Benjamin Maxwell. There's this whole. Because, again, I didn't rewatch the episode. I just, looked at the fandom wiki entry. But it's a lot about Setlik 3. Because it's not just, that's where Captain Maxwell's family died. Though that would be an interesting storyline. But it's also like a lot of the fighting happened there, too. And so I almost picture like, this is the first thing that pops in my head. I'm sure other TV series could work. But Battlestar Galactica, when they split upon Caprica, the original... the planet post attack, and then you had Battlestar and you had those two storylines going at the same time. So it would be kind of like you'd have the Rutledge going and then you'd have Setlik 3 going, and then things are wonderful and peaceful maybe, but like you sort of see what goes forward, then at some point, of course, will be an intersection with the
So we're introduced to like new characters on the planet, and eventually they'll intersect with our characters on the ship. I want to recommend, because I was trying to think, okay, if it's not the Phoenix, which is a Nebula class,
yes,
which, giant.
It just has the different thing that's different.
Yeah, different thing on the back. I thought, okay, not that it has to be class specific, but it would be kind of cool if the Rutledge was a Reliant class, because that is kind of the precursor to the Nebula class. It's the same kind of reconfiguration of
you mean Miranda class?
Sorry, Miranda. That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah.
There's a Miranda class, and then because that's how you kind of reconfigured the Enterprise into that, like we had the Enterprise D into the Nebula, just as a bit of symmetry and poetry.
And even though that's an old ship, I think it's a modified class. The Saratoga, Cisco's old ship.
Yeah,
because that was a modern.
The Soyuz class, with the it's got extra bits on it. Yeah. But basically the same gist, where it's like, oh man, they always stick me in this type of ship with the nacelles pointed down and a giant saucer. I don't know why they always give this kind of to me.
So yeah, again, I'm not a fan of gritty war, but I think this. I mean, it would be that. It would basically be Battlestar. But I mean, I think it would be interesting, to watch the Cardassian War, because you could even play with a third perspective of the Cardassians, which again, it's Battlestar with like the Cylons. But I mean, you can make it complex. They don't just have to be like the cartoon bad people. It could be complex exploration of Cardassian society that we've never seen. Why is this war? Because we don't know the inciting incident for this war. I mean, so just be a better exploration.
You know what? I'd be nervous. I think it's cool. I'd be nervous though. Like if you were to do like the Cardassian perspective, would be a writer would be like, oh, let's get a young Dukat here, and I don't want to see. He's got to stay on Bajor. Just leave him alone. Maybe have a scene, but he doesn't. He's not the one. He's not the villain. He's not the one calling these shots or anything like that. So,
well, it's a bit of a cheat, but if you're going to have a younger version, have like Goal. What was it? Masset, the one that
his cousin.
Yeah, his cousin with the from that episode,
the hairy part.
Yeah, just say
the wounded
actor. Yeah, the wounded. Yeah. Then it's not. Yeah, but I totally get it. I don't want Dukat becomes the Skywalker of the Cardassians, where everything is revolved around his family.
So it's
no!
Oh god. Do we even know his first name? We just know his rank.
Yeah,
and Dukat. It's just a one-word name.
Yeah. Okay, young Damar then. All right.
No. He was always destined for greatness.
I mean,
forged in the battles of Celtic 3.
You could get a young, Garrick's father.
Oh, not Britain?
An Auburntane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You could do that.
That's adjacent enough.
Right.
We'll allow it. Yeah.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
Quote unquote father, unrecognized in the eyes of.
But then would you see like toddler Garrick? He wouldn't be that young. He would just be I guess he'd be like
because I mean,
man.
The thing is about the Cardassian, and I'll move on. But the thing about the Cardassian War is so undefined. Like the Wounded, I should know this when I did my research. But the Wounded's what season? 6, 5. It's late. "Quote unquote" TNG. So it's like the Cardassian War just ended. So like it's been going on for like. We didn't know. Pay attention. The past 4 years. I mean, maybe there was like peace negotiations for like 3 years or something, but like it's not that.
My guess is
TNG.
My guess is it definitely ended before the beginning of TNG. One, because O'Brien is there, which means he's not on his ship. But it does feel like it. In my mind, that makes more sense because if it had just wrapped up. That's why we don't talk about the war because it's not happening right now. But yeah, it is kind of a like, wait, when was the Federation at war with the Cardassians? So
yeah, because
war.
Yes, exactly. Because and again, it's retcon, which that's the real answer. But I mean, to have O'Brien feel that strongly for that many years. I mean, not that I, however he feels is fine, but fine or not fine, but normal. But it's like that'd be like season 5 suddenly it's like no, I've always hated Cardassians. This whole, couldn't you tell? It's not the way character I was playing that I was this war scarred. And no, okay, you didn't get that. It was a very subtle performance. All right, cool. All right, well that's my pitch of U.S.S. Rutledge, Battlestar Rutledge. There you go. That's what I'm proposing. So, what do you got, Daniel?
So I'm going to propose an idea that's a little less formed. Not to say that I didn't think about this, because I definitely did. But this is. I also wanted to come up with I was told. I was talking about this before we started, but I was like, I didn't want to do the obvious, Captain Zulu on the Excelsior, because we've talked about all that sort of stuff before. Scratch out. So I was thinking, and kind of as a joke, but also because it sounds interesting, is a character that we hear a lot about that has his own ship, but we never actually get to spend any time on it, and it sounds like a really fun place, and that is Captain Baudet, everybody's favorite Galamite that Jadzia has some encounters with, and you can see his skull.
I would say he has a transparent.
Yeah. And he's a freighter captain, and it sounds like he freighters the great ship of Party. So I think it would be cool to go and try something a little different. Maybe a little less Star Trek-y, and a little more, a little more fun, cruisy kind of vibes.
I'd say maybe it couldn't support an entire season or series,
a short track,
but definitely, I would say an episode of Lower Decks. Run into him, and it's the party. I think they could do it justice with the party atmosphere, and that would be hilarious.
Yeah. One thing with DS9, not that they
does that mean he's a Breen?
No, he's a Galamite. They say it.
Have we ever seen Galamites without their helmets on?
Like a Vulcan Romulan thing?
Yeah. He's blue gel and they're green gel, and they don't
didn't know until they took the thing off, and they're like, "Oh, we're cousins." Oh. So is he just a civilian? Is he Federation? Or is he non-Federation?
No, he is definitely he is his own captain, man. He
kind of like what Cassidy Yates,
I think so. I think that's
she operates in the Federation, but she's not Starfleet.
Maybe like a citizen, but not on behalf of
service guarantees citizenship.
He votes, right? That's what we're saying. Pays taxes. Pays non-existent taxes.
This is a private establishment. He gets things from point A to point B. Listen, he probably interacts with Quark a bit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying he does things. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. So that's what he does.
Because I was just thinking,
he looks for things to make him go.
Yes,
Because in Enterprise, they introduced the. Am I making this up? Earth Cargo Service (ECS). ECS Horizon, right? Is that anyway?
Yeah, it was probably part of his boomer story.
And then it was in our minds, I'm saying in the fans' minds, this is all get replaced when Starfleet, gets big. But then I'm like, will it? I mean, there's no cargo that we know of Starfleet vessels that there's no can you name a class of Starfleet
the only time they're
vessel
carrying around cargo is when they're setting up a colony, which is not what a cargo service would do. So I don't. It's like saying UPS is going to disappear when the United Postal Service grows. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. So, but I know, the cargo is ECS in the 24th century or something. But I could still see. It'd be very interesting to know, what do these ships look like? Do they have weapons? Can they support weapons? Are they, they're just Borg cubes?
Very cargo shapey.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to now I'm thinking about this though, and this is totally an aside, but if you wanted to make a colony, all you would need to do is build some sort of a power generator, whether it's whatever, it's solar collector or geothermal or whatever, right? Like a Star Trek fission engine on a planet, and then a replicator, and then you don't need any more cargo to that planet. They could just make whatever they want at that point. You can just make
True.
You just make your stuff, and you're good to go.
Although it is like the massive, but that piece of technology is the bottleneck. Then you can only grow your colony as fast as you can use power to replicate things.
Like a SimCity problem. You have a level 1 replicator, so you're
Well, what you do is you build another replicator. That's the first thing you build.
Well, yes, but then the time you're spending...
Genie wishes for more wishes. Replicator,
but
make me replicator.
The amount of time you spend making the replicator, though, is time you're not building your colony. No,
sure.
I know what you mean.
3 seconds, and then you're good to go, and then that replicator can become.
We've never seen a replicator make a replicator. We don't know how long it takes.
Hang on.
They push a button to make it, and then also boom. That's the one thing you can't replicate is another replicator.
Buffering.
This is not true. We have seen a replicator make a replicator.
Okay.
But we haven't seen it because they were minds that were cloaked. They did replicate other minds,
self-replicating,
but they were cloaked, so we couldn't see it happen. But that was Rom's big project during the Dominion War. So
so you don't need to bring a bunch of mines.
Well, the problem is he started with a food replicator trying to replicate the mine. It didn't work so well.
No, I like it. It'd be fun. I do love the idea of a short trek, a decent one. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I was thinking of very short treks when I said that. But anyway,
it's like extremely short treks. 30 seconds.
Hey, I'm Captain Gunmar.
It could be like a commercial. That'd be fun. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah,
remember me from some
Cargo service
stories. It's like an ad.
I like it though.
And then right after it comes that Quarks is great, Quarks is fun. Don't rock now. Get there, run.
I can see Lower Decks doing an episode with commercials, and they just have the cargo service commercials, and it's don't forget
I totally
subspace frequency 124.5.33772-.288.
It's super. Oh man,
they did have.
Why are we not writers on this show, Philip?
They did have an episode with TV, right?
When they were on Ferenginar and Boimler discovers television.
Did it have commercials? Yeah, they had.
Of course, it had commercials. Wait, were there commercials on the Ferengi television? I don't know, Daniel.
Yeah, it's like the BBC public.
The commercial is literally a red screen coming up saying, "Insert 1 bar of Gold Plus Platinum to continue your program." That's the commercial.
It's not even the screen. The commercial's the big screen. You have to put money in to make the program
to make it swap to the other screen. It's such a Ferengi thing.
Cool.
All right, so mine. I don't know how you would. This would be like a limited series, like a mini series, or because of the time of it, you might have to do it like animated or novel. I want to see the Vulcan captain, played by J.G. Hertzler of the U.S.S. Saratoga, leading up to the Battle of Wolf 359. So very limited.
Prequel.
Yeah, basically the Cisco prequel. But again, I only want to see the week leading up at most. So it's very hey, how is everything going? And then, it's like those movies where we're leading up to 9/11 or some big event that we know is right around the corner, but they just don't. So I think that would be interesting. I always liked. We barely saw any of that captain, but I'm interested. I think that'd be an interesting story to tell. Now, I don't know how you would do a younger Avery Brooks or any of that. So it might have to be animated or a comic book or something. But I think that'd be an interesting story. I don't have to answer how. It's just the why.
No.
You don't know how to do a younger Avery Brooks, but what about a younger Sirach Lofton? He's a lot bigger than he used to be too. So
right. Well, he could play Cisco, and then his son could play Jay, and just keeps going down. I don't know if he has a son.
It's a hereditary role. Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Is that JG's first Star Trek role?
It is, because it's literally the second shot of Emissary. Well, actually, I'll take that back. I don't know if he wasn't in anything in TNG.
I would assume he was, but I don't know. Maybe not.
If only there was a website, a memory of sorts that could list all of his
ones.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he had been in some TNG type background Vulcan 3 or something. Just because, like, those are the kind of people. I mean, even that, like, he didn't get a prominent DS9 character until Martok, which wasn't in the very, very beginning, if I recall. It took a season or two for him to come about. But then they're like, who's a good captain?
Yeah,
Vulcan
that's
captain.
That's his first Star Trek role. I thought it was. Nice.
Well, I mean, hey, he did a great job. I mean, it is, I will just say, Vulcan is not his look. It does look like a pretty bag Vulcan wig and ears. Like it. I get it.
It's a pilot, but Darren, pilot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that pilot. There's like 30 seconds later, like the Saratoga's destroyed. It's like, oh my gosh. But something like that I think would be fun.
I do love Darren's idea of like, you know what, guys? I want you to care about these people.
I was going to say, he's going to make us real sad. Yeah. Oh, man, this Jennifer character's awesome. I hope she sticks around.
We never see your husband or son. They're always in the other room. And then the last episode.
I love it. That's how you do it. Like, the first officer's always right over there. Like, and where's Commander Sisko? Oh, he's over there. Okay. Lieutenant Commander Sisko? Okay. Well, we'll get back to it.
That's true. I guess if her last name is Sisko, it's kind of burying the lead.
You open first scene is like she walks into her quarters and she's like, "Man, I really love this load-bearing beam above my bed." Oh my
god! I was thinking of moving it. No, let's leave it. Let's leave it. Okay.
She carves her name in it.
It's like, oh yeah, it says Jennifer loves Benjamin right on there.
Well, you know what? I'm so glad we visited Starbase One recently, so I could get my entire collection of Denoblian glass sculptures on this unsecured shelf right here in our quarters. It's great. No downside. Oh man, why are we making everything a Lower Decks type episode of humor? But
it's a ride,
but no, and again, it's on a Miranda class, which I always, or Soyuz. I think it is Miranda because Soyuz has like the extra, that extra pod on it. But
you remember how they
could be
were
wrong?
Yeah, you remember how they were always like, Galaxy class is the only ship with families, and then answer me why Jake was on and Jennifer were on.
True.
On this ship.
I guess maybe like half the crew was families. Like there's a lot of families, but yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we also had that went down, so that's why we put them all on the like we'll just separate the saucer. Oh, that doesn't work on this ship. We can't do that. Oh, okay.
You're right, well, according to Memory Alpha, you're right, Darren. It is Miranda class. What am I thinking of Soyuz class then? I must be thinking of another ship.
They very rarely use Soyuz. Soyuz was Morgan Bateson's ship.
Maybe that's what it was. That's what I'm
thinking. And so it had like this extra like armory pod and like little things on the sides.
Yeah.
But most of the ones we see are Miranda. Although we rarely see it. It's usually only in like the big fleet shots, like when they're going to go retake DS9 or something.
I'll have to look through my micro machines here. Because I swear I had one that was like that, but anyway. Oh, here it is. Yep, that's the Saratoga. Yep, that's just a regular old... Sorry, you can't really
tell
details.
Oh,
just a
I
regular
think you're right.
There you go.
Sorry, I think they took off the roll bar. That's just the difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That doesn't have the. Yeah.
That's the difference. So it's not a Soyuz class. It's like a version 2 Miranda without the roll bar.
Miranda Mark II.
That's how you can tell it's not the Reliant. Otherwise, Star Trek fans would obviously assume it's the Reliant. There's only one ship that ever looks like. That's why we never see another Constitution class ever. In TNG time, because everyone's going to think it's the Enterprise.
I love like there was the refit of the Miranda, and like they just accidentally cropped the picture, and they're like, "Okay, well, let's chop that off." Then done. Lunch.
Did
lunch,
you know?
Lunch,
you know
lunch?
you don't need a spoiler in space, right? Like, but it's got our photon torpedo. You don't need a photon. Phasers are good enough for everybody.
Look, you're a science ship. What are the odds? The Saratoga is going to need photon torpedoes. this is going to be your
some big
your miniseries.
I did see a version where they took that pod basically and they had it mounted in like the front of the saucer. and that's where they had the torpedo. Because it is kind of a where's the torpedo part in that ship, but again, phasers aplenty.
Cool. All right, well, I'll go next. Mine is not necessarily fully fleshed out, but I just thought it was a very interesting idea. And this is from TOS, going to go way back there, the immunity syndrome. And this is the U.S.S. Intrepid, which we never saw, but was referenced as a all-Vulcan crew Starfleet ship. So 430 Vulcans. This is the one basically got killed by the space amoeba.
The most logical ship to ever sail the seven seas.
But I thought there was a bunch of interesting things. I mean, my pitch initially...
Now, that was a Constitution class, right?
No. No. It's assumed. But that was going to be one of my pitches, is that, what if it isn't? Because, in TOS land...
There are no other ships in TOS, Philip. That's it.
Because I think the assumption is that because the 400 some crew is mentioned, so it's a heavy cruiser. That's
roughly the size
word,
of
right. So it's a big ship. Yeah, it's one of Starfleet's big ships. And so a Constitution class. But my pitch is let's make it another one. Let's just we're not retconning.
Vulcan ring ship. Why not?
It's never not been said. Well, it's a Starfleet ship. So it does have to be Starfleet. But I say, let's just make it something new because it's never not been said. It was only Constitution. But yeah, I was thinking some sort of animated, so Prodigy or Clone Wars, if you want to go that way. Looking, and because people have never cracked how to do Vulcans, and I feel like it's an all Vulcan crew. We've made fun of it on Lower Decks, but let's see someone legitimately try to tackle what an all Vulcan crew, 23rd century. Would do, because you can have that sort of cowboy stories like you did in TOS.
I mean, you say make fun of, but honestly, Lower Decks kind of nailed it. I think it's you have to balance the logic and the emotion, but I felt like that was kind of what I would expect a Vulcan crew to be like.
Yes, I am also available to play chess.
And in the back of their ship, there's a full baseball field. Just why have a holodeck when you can have a full baseball diamond between three decks?
No, that's one very specific Vulcan and his very specific grudge.
Nope, all Vulcans love baseball. It is known.
Because I think one thing that's interesting is, especially in the 23rd century, barring future Strange New Worlds, we've never seen full Vulcan Starfleet members in 23rd century Starfleet. So they aren't Vulcan Science Academy. This is Starfleet. 100% that is what canon U.S.S. Intrepid. And so what is a Vulcan Starfleet? Because even Lower Decks, that is a Vulcan ship. That is not a Starfleet ship.
It's interesting, though, because I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of... So after Spock was in Starfleet, 400 Vulcans decided, hey... sounds cool. They all go through the academy together, and then they all get assigned on the same ship. That seems really unlikely.
Well, there's nothing that said... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. There's nothing that says Spock is the first Vulcan in Starfleet.
Discovery?
If so, I don't remember it.
I thought he was, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think Worf is first Klingon.
No, that doesn't make any sense because obviously they were a founding member of the Federation. There's no reason. I don't know. No, you're right. But again, it's just okay. So even though you have a bunch, that still seems weird that the graduating class of 20 whatever, all go on the same ship.
Well, that'd be interesting. Why? I mean, that could be what we could explore. Yeah. Why does that even exist? Because I also think it's interesting because
it's a great experiment,
and this will force Vulcans outside of known roles. They can't all be blue shirt science officers. Someone's pushing the phasers. Someone's answering. That we got to see a red shirt Vulcan, and so I think it kind of forces that.
The red shirt's all live long and prosper, live long and prosper.
So that's my little, limited series, animated 23rd century U.S.S. Intrepid with, captain name starts with S. Daniel, what about you?
So I'm going to kind of mush a bunch of ideas together that I had in my head. I was thinking of like when Discovery was first being developed and they were talking about making an anthology show. And I was thinking also about the episode from Strange New Worlds where we essentially see an alternate version of that one episode, the TOS episode. What's it called?
Yeah. Balance of Terror.
Balance of Terror. I was thinking we could do this like, and I'm just going to use Enterprise as an example, but I was thinking like, because this is something they could have done, but like have an episode like or a special two-parter episode that actually takes place on the Columbia and not the Enterprise, and you can actually see from that perspective because obviously those are all standing sets and that's easy. You just have different people in the roles and stuff like that. But it could also
how will you know it's the Columbia and not the Enterprise? Oh, giant glowy things on the bridge. Got it.
Yes,
got it.
Yeah.
That's a woman captain, clearly.
Yeah. See, don't you see those things? Yeah, those things. But and I was
Patch.
And if you want to do something fun, you could do like a sort of sci-fi way, like sort of like how Strange New Worlds did it, where it's like a what if scenario, like give Hernandez like the same essentially the same like inciting incident, like with the Klingon and stuff like that from Broken Bow, and like just see how a different crew and a different captain would handle that scenario. I thought that'd be fun. Something they could have potentially done where it was like, oh, what if, but also, still easy to make and cheap enough that they could still have done it at the time.
No, I like it. I'm trying to picture it in my head, or trying to figure out in the head, like whether you go from the pilot episode, or even it's not my favorite, or even if you go from like the Xindi.
Oh, you could do the
pilot
Xindi
episode, where for some reason the NXO is not ready, or it has a problem, or they're still far off, and then when the thing hits, NXO 1's way out there, so they're like, well, we got to spin up NXO 2 for this, so.
Yeah, well, there was that one episode right where I can't even remember what actually happens. But like, doesn't Archer have to choose to like torture someone or something?
Yeah,
and he either does and or doesn't, and you would just go do that episode, and she'll obviously make the opposite decision, and then you just sort of play that out. You can just you know what I mean.
Like,
see what happens.
She's obviously better than Archer, so I mean just.
I think he did it.
He solves the Xindi War in 2 episodes instead of 1 season.
Doesn't he use the information he gets from?
It was the flip flop where I don't know if it's the first episode, but it's of that season 3, but it's first or second episode where they get basically pirates come and take their stuff. And then in like episode, 11, they meet a ship and they're like, they don't have like a warp, blah, blah, blah. And they end up stealing the warp, blah, blah, blah from that ship to strand them. And so it's now sort of the reverse.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But there is also the one where he tortures the person too. That's also.
Yeah. So plenty of stuff you could do, I just want to see, I liked Captain
Columbia.
America. Yeah. And I want to see the Columbia. And I think
that was actually on one of them. I have 3 left, and that was on one of them was the Columbia in XO2. Because they also have a chef. Maybe we get to see that chef's face. Who knows?
No, that's the only constant. 0 chef faces.
Seth MacFarlane is transferred to that. Because apparently he cameos twice, once in the Enterprise and once in the Columbia. So apparently Seth MacFarlane is an engineer crewman on the Columbia.
Well, they can't have only new people on the Columbia. That'd be terrible. You need some experience
to meet our crew. Like, what else would be the 22nd century, crew of an NX class? They can't all be boomers and,
yeah,
Vulcans and teachers and,
No, yeah.
Or British,
some other things. That'd be fun.
Or British.
Now, so for my next one, I did Captain Benteen of the U.S.S. Lakota from Paradise Lost. So we get an Excelsior class, Excelsior 2, whatever they ended up calling
Mark
that.
2.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, another interesting captain and an interesting ship. I would love a story on an Excelsior class. Just a little bigger than a Connie class, but not quite, those Galaxy classes, the workhorse of the fleet. They're taking ambassadors everywhere, every day of the week, and things are going sideways all the time. Maybe they have a special ambassador / admiral suite. Like that's all the saucer is, just admiral suites, for miles. I don't know. it could just be a lot of fun. I think, and she seemed like an interesting captain. Obviously, I mean, it still took me forever to notice that it's the same actress who plays Leah Brahms.
I was going to say, what's that actress's name?
Yeah, I don't recall her name, but but I think, I mean, she was obviously good enough for them to bring her back a couple of times, and just like J.G. Hertzler can be another character, so I would love a spin-off show, miniseries, or even something bigger that could be, or you could pseudo Enterprise B it and shove her through time and have her take place during the Enterprise B era if we want to do something different. I don't know. I don't have an idea of the story, just the ship. Susan
Gibney. Apparently she did audition for Janeway. So there you go.
Oh.
But no, I like that. I mean, it's just a decent, or a straightforward 24th century show.
And it could be after the events of Paradise Lost. It doesn't have to be before. Not everything has to be a prequel, Daniel. But
because he loves them so much.
Because you love them so much.
Not me.
I know. That's why you're like, why'd you tell me that, Darren? It's like, because I know you hate prequels. You could have it after, and then if you have it after, you could have her call up Cisco for another favor, as like, hey, remember that time I didn't shoot your ship down? You owe me one. As but no, I could think she could be very interesting in, or even later during the era of Picard, during not Picard per se, but the good old lead up to the evacuation of Romulus. Like, that's still a time we don't know a ton about. So,
yeah, and she is, sorry, I'm doing this off the top of my head, one of the few captains, you have to correct me here if I'm wrong, who we see is like literally just gotten her 4th pip. So she is brand spanking new captain. And so it'd be interesting to see that perspective.
What is her go warp fast phrase? Could be a whole episode about that. No.
Do you think at Starfleet Academy, or like maybe in the manuals or whatever, it's like you need to have a go word,
the captain's
and
handbook.
Like here's a list of acceptable phrases that can be used, and like people just pick out of it.
There's a little handbook, and it says these are the rules: don't abandon your crew, go down with the ship, and tuck in your shirt. And the 4th one is, have a phrase to go warp fast.
See, that would be a great, like, almost Mad Libs if someone wanted to make that captain's handbook. Like, the U.S.S. blank, and then
blank.
You have to go. What is your go fast blank?
This book belongs to, and then it's like, I earned my 4th pip on star date. It's like for a child, but it's actually like like someone's kid made it one year for a joke, but then became an academy tradition, and everyone gets one when they become a captain, even though it's like very childish. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
If you find yourself being turned into a ball of light.
If you come into a room and you see yourself, one of you is out of time.
What do you want to call your first officer? Commander, number
Some
1.
names.
Mr. or Mrs. Should they also double as another position?
Yeah, unacceptable names are
kiddo, my little buddy.
I was going to say husband or boyfriend, or
how to deal with exes on missions that you will encounter.
Don't.
Secret captain passcode to erase holodeck history. It's like all the captains have the ability to do that.
Chapter 7. So you've been cued.
How to delete the wife in your favorite rom-com holodeck program.
Omega directive. Do not open unless told otherwise.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, see, it's great. We could totally make this book.
Cool. All right, well, let's do one final round, and if you don't have a lot, that's all right. I actually have 2 left. I'm not going to do the obvious one. My obvious one was going to do Equinox, which would have been pretty cool because of Daniel, in honor of him. But what I'm going to do instead is not well thought out. This is the one where I thought I would just want to do it in a series of novels, but you can suggest otherwise. The Enterprise F Because I would say there's nothing known. Because my argument, as much as I have one, would be that Shelby was not in command of the Enterprise F. That was like a ceremonial thing.
Yeah, I never got the sense that it was her ship.
It was just the flagship, and so so I was like, we have no idea who the commander was, because that was the end of its life, because it got decommissioned. I mean, literally and figuratively, but it was going to be decommissioned. So like now we go sort of backwards to like the Enterprise E, is no longer there, and we will never explain what happened. So I mean, and I don't know how long we would have thought the F would have been around. So it's Picard season 3, you can go backwards until you think where Worf would have lost the E. So I don't know. I would argue maybe 10 years or less, but 10 years, given that space between Picard, there's a lot of ground there. But there's not much, Odyssey class, and this is post Romulus, abandoning the Romulus, because I feel like Enterprise would have been around then. So this would have been like the low point, maybe, quote unquote, as Picard would have seen it for Starfleet. So what was the Enterprise F up to? And so, whatever we want.
And the Starfleet felt bad. And they're like, you know what, Enterprise F, I think you need to go map some gaseous anomalies in the Beta Quadrant. Let's just simmer down while we figure this out.
I mean, judging from the vibe, and that's all I can go off, there was a more internal Federation vibe going on during this time, not necessarily about expansion or exploration. It's more maintaining what do we have, after the Mars debacle and everything else. It was like, I don't want to say Federation first, but it was sort of like...
After the synth thing happened, it was definitely more of okay, we're not in the best light. We need to kind of circle the starships.
Yeah. And this, of course, is the first Enterprise in 20 years without Captain Jean-Luc Picard at the helm.
Be quiet, Federation News Service. Get that light out of my eye.
So, yeah, you could have some, not newbie, like literally doing it all over again. But you could not, not going to have this veteran of Captain Picard. You could have by comparison, younger captain. So
I'm going to say, this is my headcanon, and totally headcanon. There's nothing that I have to base off of this. You say that wasn't Shelby's ship, and I will say you're right, but it was at the beginning.
Okay. That
they give her the F, and she goes off and has like an 8-year mission, and then gets promoted to Admiral. And so this is kind of the it's as if Captain Picard, now an Admiral, comes back on the Enterprise D, or
they would never do that. They would never do that, Darren. So they would never put Captain Picard back on the Enterprise D. They just wouldn't do it.
It's ridiculous,
because it's destroyed. But yes.
Yeah. So you're telling me Admiral Picard will be in the chair of the captain's chair of the Enterprise D.
Everybody else would be in their same stations. Yeah, there's no way. I'm not buying this for 1 second. I don't believe it.
It's fan service. That would never happen.
But, and then when they're going to retire, see, they had to destroy the E because there's no way it could fit inside the new Starbase Museum, because we only barely had room for a Galaxy class, let alone a Sovereign.
But yeah, no, I like that. I can accept that. You could almost
be anyone as captain, but I think Shelby would be a fun captain.
I've not read the whole series, and I do want to. It's on my list. I'm looking at my list here. I have a little book list here. I read the first 4 books, which I know is just a dent, but Star Trek New Frontier. But this could be a sequel series to New Frontier with Shelby, because obviously she was first officer of the Excalibur. So yeah, you could sort of continue it there. And still have that universe of characters, which I'm not 100% familiar with. But anyway, cool. All right, Daniel, you got any last ones?
I do. I have a good one.
Sure.
Darren says I don't like prequels, but here we go. Okay. This is only because and I'm changing the tone here. This is a total tragedy.
Okay.
Do you guys know that?
Wait.
Not
the Saratoga
Cardassian
War.
It's not the Saratoga.
You'll see where I'm going. I'm going.
Man, okay. I'm bracing.
Okay. Do you know there's a famous Futurama episode with the dog.
I know how to spell Melvar with 3 R's.
With the dog.
Oh, not that one. Not that one.
Yeah.
The dog.
I'm aware of it. I've never seen it, but I know the vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So think of this is exactly how I want it to be. This is going to be a short trek, but think of the opening of the movie Up.
Oh yes, I got it. Yeah.
So it's animated in the cutesy animation style, right? But there's no dialogue. So it's all just we're just seeing. We're seeing it, and this is entirely done through the perspective of a dog. And so, where the dog comes in, she's a puppy. She gets rescued by this woman, and the dog and the woman, they fall in love. They're so happy together. They have this lovely.
Is this Janeway's dog?
Or Aquiel's dog, where the dog's the murderer.
No. It is Janeway, right? So okay. The dog grows,
and then Janeway never comes back.
Wait, did we ever say the dog died? Because dogs don't live forever. But like Mark, obviously stayed with Mark.
7 years,
So
she just had puppies.
Yes, I looked it up. Yeah, it had puppies like I think in season 4 or something like that. So I'm going to say it could still be alive. We didn't really. And here's the thing: future dogs could live much longer than dogs do now.
That's true. Clone.
And the dog is much happier with Janeway's replacement.
But we get to see whatever happened to her name. The dog's name was Molly, an Irish, Irish setter. So we get to see the whole.
It just says Molly.
Yeah.
Aww.
And then the dog is there while Mark is writing the Dear John letter to Catherine in season 5 or 6 or whenever that happened.
So I thought you were dead. Just,
And after Janeway, Mark named one of the puppies Catherine. So there you go.
Oh, it's even sadder.
He lives on. So.
All right. Well, I had one more as well. I chose, in my version, it's the new Captain Klag of the I.K.S. Pagh, which is the Klingon bird of prey from Matter of Honor. So with the exchange, so that's not the actual captain. That was the first officer who stood up and supported Riker. And even though at the end of that episode they kind of kept the original captain. I think that's how they call it. Second officer.
Because Riker was.
His second, meant to kill him if he doesn't perform his duties. Anyway,
is he the one that had daddy issues? Played by that actor you always see his name. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, I feel that shortly after the departure of Riker, the old captain screws up again, and he has to, unalive him for Klingon reasons and becomes the new captain, and they go off on adventures. And I just think that'd be hilarious. Searching for honor and glory.
It'd be funny if the new captain, not that he had that long to Klag, but picked up on some Riker personality things.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. He's a little more.
They're pen pals.
Talking. Oh my gosh, Klingon pen pals. That is the entire series. It's just the correspondence.
What is that? What is that clatter coming from his ready room? You just hear the smooth jazz playing. My ears are insulted.
Yeah, so it's Starfleet Communique 54302 from Commander William T. Riker, U.S.S. Enterprise D, to Captain Klag of the I.K.S. Pagh. And then it's literally, that's all it is, just letters. And it's just I enclosed some of my latest performance in the what's it called? In 10 Forward. I hope you like it. And then he pulls out the chip and he puts it in.
I almost
but then it goes back the other way, and it's from Captain I.K.S. Pagh to Commander Riker, and he's like, "Today I didn't kill my second officer. I think that's a good job on me." But like you said, I think I would like him to, be a little more sciencey, a little more well, guys, remember when we thought the Enterprise was bad, but there was actually that flesh, the whole eating bacteria, so he's a teeny bit more hey, maybe there's a science option to everything. It's not just shoot first.
I almost picturing like a Ken Burns style documentary where they read the letters over like the
and
pictures.
you don't ever see them. You just hear the recording of them reading the letter.
It was jazz. So like do. My dearest Klag.
I was thinking of it like it would be time jumps, and like you would hear different perspectives on like Riker's adventures, like through his letters. Like, today we went to the High Council, and I was sad because you weren't there. I thought you might have been around.
Yeah,
Commander Riker, I heard you visited Kronos and did not contact me.
Yeah,
this is a great dishonor.
You are
like,
hosting.
it was only your captain as the Chadich of that scoundrel Worf. Like he's in the background of all these key Klingon events that happen, like the time that Worf like loses his honor again, and they all turn around. He's just in the gallery, like just like eating Klingon popcorn, watching it.
P.S. Don't blame me. I voted for Doros.
I like how Riker again also sending him messages like boy, Klag, if you thought one of me on your ship was crazy enough, I just found my transporter duplicate who's been stranded on a planet for the last 20 years.
I've named my Targ Data in honor of your companion you mentioned so much.
Or using from the suggestion of your Commander Worf, I've invested heavily in, Bacta's Klingon Chair Corporation. They're so comfortable. I think they're going to be everywhere. That weird like ball chair he has in his quarters.
Based on your suggestions, I have added a counselor to our crew. Often I spend time regaling over crew reports with her over blood wine.
Yeah. And then whatever the name of the female Klingons, like they still ask about you. Like, are you available? Checkbox Y or N. Or actually, it's like Doc or Cha. Yeah. Anyway, I like how we just obviously made it a comedy, like straight up. But I like the correspondence idea. Although we can't call it pen pals because that's a different episode.
The epistles of Riker and Klag.
Ooh, that's a big word.
Cool. All right. Well, those are all wonderful ideas that I'm sure all should be green lighted in the future.
Should they? Should.
Some more than others, perhaps.
More than others, yeah.
So, Daniel, if agents want to contact you about your pitch, where can they find you?
They can find me at One Up Dan. That's the number one, not the word.
And Darren, if folks want to talk about what ship is on your desk right now that you can make a series out of, where can they find you?
They can find me at drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI.
And if folks want to see what action figures I can use to illustrate many of my ideas, they can find me on Instagram at CAPTSFUFP. Well, until next week, I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on City Alpha 3.